This podcast is brought to you by you, all of the anime addicts all across the world. If you want to support the podcast and show your addiction, help out the show, AAApodcast.com/join or patreon.com. That's where you go. You make it happen. You support the podcast. You get all kinds of extra episodes. You get the hentai episodes. You can listen to a shock and awe pancake with some of the most horrendous hentai ever created. And you get to hear about all the cool shit we do outside of the podcast on Hobby Addicts, like video games, reading, movies, and more. So support the podcast over at AAApodcast.com/join or Patreon. Anime Addicts Unite! Now it's time to start the show.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello and welcome to the 652nd episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. This is Caroline, and we got Mitsugi in the house, we got Mason in the house, we have more people coming into the house later, and we are going to make this a super episode. How's everyone doing?
Mason
Me?
first.
Well, me. Yes, most important people first. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. I'm feeling fresh. I am feeling full. I'm feeling ready to talk about anime, which is what we do here, I'm told.
I was going to say bros before hoes, and that's why you go before me. But hey, Mitz is in the house. I'm a hydro homie today. I already drank like basically a whole carafe of coffee, which does nothing to those of us with ADHD, but it does make me want to drink water. So I'm drinking water, hydro homie. This is from Mason.
I'm also a Hydra homie. I
go.
got some jasmine tea here. It's starting to get cold, unfortunately.
Mason's like,
What?
It's adjacent enough.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Tea?
Wow.
Yeah. That's
What are you
Talking
Good.
about? It is like 99% water.
And it's got some dirty old leaves in it, giving you some caffeine.
Oh.
I don't know. Is jasmine caffeine?
No, it's
no,
herbal.
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
herbal.
know. Shows how much. My ignorance is showing
It's okay.
loud and clear,
Wow.
just like my beverage, unlike yours.
You never stop being elitist, do you?
Well, there you go.
It's in my nature.
Okay.
Don't be an
well,
elitist. I should listen to the guy more often.
We'll be debating quite a bit today. It does not end with Is Tea Water? With our game Anime Around the Horn, which will be coming up later. But let's also shine a light on the many ways you can follow us. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/AAA podcast, where we are live every Sunday, 5 p.m. EST. And we are also on Twitter. We are also on TikTok. We are also on Facebook. And, of course, our Discord community, which is always popping off with the latest arguments. But we are all friends, so it makes it even better. And to strengthen that friendship, we are having a Secret Santa this year.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
It's going to be so much fun. So the way that this works is that everyone can fill out a little entry form. Like, you just say what your tastes are. Like, what do you like? What do you dislike in terms of anime genres or tropes, etc. You send us, or you also include a link to your anime list. And we, the lovely members of the AAA podcast and our lovely mods as well, will pair up people with Secret Santas. And by Christmas, you will have a brain spanking new anime recommendation courtesy of a random person on our Discord. And we are going to, we'll be sure to talk quite a bit about it on our channel, which is going to be really fun. So, that being said, go to our Discord, go to the Secret Santa channel, find the form, fill it out. It's pinned in our notes. And get that done before December 11th. So, keep that in mind. And also, our presidential ballot is still up.
boy.
Voteanime.life is the place to go if you would like to elect one of us to be anime president based on our goings-on last episode. What do you guys think the results are looking like?
I'm just going to say, because I'm the only one that can do this, vote for a pope. There you go. Hey, come on.
That's pretty good. That's a catchy slogan. That'll win you votes.
Oh, yeah.
Will it win you the election, though? That's a
Well,
question only I
Mason
know
is
at
the
the
one
moment.
kind of running the show with this election, so
Oh, sounds
is
like some
that
fraud
a
going
conflict of
on.
interest?
I want to recount.
Can we trust him?
I will show all.
We can
I
trust
will
him.
not.
We can trust him. I trust him.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! You can trust me. Is that not a great, compelling argument for me to win the election?
I don't know.
Oh,
But how long is this? How long is the voting going to be up for? Do you think?
it'll close by the time we're recording the next episode. So
Yeah.
if you're listening
All
to this
right.
now, get on it because
Get on
it
it,
will be
people.
closing shortly.
Okay, well, that is certainly something we'll look forward to in the next episode. But for this episode, as we have, and listener's choice. Want to talk about that?
So I'd normally give an extra week for listener's choice, but it's already over because 3 anime are so far ahead that there's no freaking way anybody's going to catch up. So I'm going to run through this right now. I know it's a little early, but it's not going to change. So you might as well just give it to you right now. So number 5, a second runner-up.
Number 5.
Shadow Garden. 22.4% of the people that voted picked Shadow's Garden, but not.
Is that even that's not even the name of the anime? It's the
No, it's
Eminence
called-
in Shadow.
No, it's called Kage no Jitsu Ryokusha ni Nari Takute. Whatever the fuck that is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It didn't win. Number 4.
Number 4.
To Your Eternity with 23.4%. We will not be watching To Your Eternity Season 2. Honestly, it was kind of boring anyway, so you'll be fine without it.
Number 3.
3. Okay, the first anime we'll be watching for listener's choice. You picked it. I don't know why. 37% have selected Spy Families Part 2. I tried to stop you, but you didn't listen. So, whatever. I did my best.
Number 2.
Number 2, Akiba Maid Wars. 45% of people picked Akiba Maid War. Pretty much, pretty dominating. I mean, I pretty much knew that was going to happen. And as predicted,
Number 1.
with 47%, nearly every other person who voted picked this anime. Blue Lock is number 1 and will be representing the top of the pile for the listener's choice. So we will be reviewing Spy Family, Akiba Maid Wars, and Blue Lock in upcoming episodes. Sorry I didn't give you guys more time for the listener's choice, but when you've got virtually a 20%
Landslide.
gap between third and fourth, nothing's gonna change it at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and close the responses, and there you go. Listener choice is done, and I will say I especially like this banner that Mason made. It's very sharp. It's very sexy. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I try.
All right. There you go.
Well, with that, today we continue the jelly bean madness. There are a lot of jelly beans for me to eat here, and I'll take a jelly bean every single time an anime has been mentioned that I've never seen. Food references and lewdness to a wild degree. So I've already eaten 2. Let's see how
Wow.
this goes today.
I didn't do
And
anything to you. I did nothing yet.
Listen, you did not pay attention. I'm talking also anime I've never seen. I've never seen Blue Lock, and I've never seen Akiba Maid War. So,
I think you just want to eat jelly beans, to be honest with you.
this is true. Honestly, I was kind of looking for a sweet snack, so it wasn't a hardship. Really,
Sometimes
eating
you're
this
just
jelly
hungry,
bean.
you know?
Sometimes I just want a damn jelly bean, okay?
Listen, some of us are addicted to anime. Caroline, she's just addicted to jelly beans. Okay, that's pretty much the bottom line.
I mean, it's the listeners that perpetuated this addiction. It's
Are you guys
their
ready?
fault.
You guys ready for big news?
Yes, I'd say let's
do it.
get to big news of the week.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Caroline, would you like to go first? I need to take care of something.
Yeah, you take care of something. I would like to talk about the fact that Crunchyroll is expanding its movie library this month with new titles. Starting on November 17th, there's going to be the addition of King of Thorn, which I've never heard of. Origin, Spirits of the Past, which I've also never heard of. Also, Psycho Pass the movie, which I have heard of. And November 24th, two movies that people are sure to be excited about. Sword Art Online, the movie, Progressive Aria of a Starless Night, and then also Laid Back Camp, the movie, which I think is the main one that I'm going to be watching out of these five. So those two are coming out again November 24th, if I hadn't said so already. And yeah, I'm excited for Laid Back Camp. What about you, Mason?
Moderately. I'm definitely going to see it, but it's not like I'm on pins and needles seeing what happens next from like a plot or character standpoint. So yeah,
well, surprisingly, I think
watch it.
Like there's going to be a time skip. They're going to be like working women allowed to drink and stuff while on a camping trip. So
I guess I'm not expecting much besides watching that, being like, that's nice, that's funny, that's charming, that's informative, neat. 7 out of 10. Like that is how it is going to go for me, and I kind of am expecting that. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope they just go with this wild, ambitious, off the wall thing. But I guess I feel safe with that show, and because of that, I'm not excited for much more. But we'll see.
Yeah. What about you, Mitsugi? Are you interested in any of the following movies coming up?
I've seen Origin Spirit of the Past. Psycho Pass, I don't know shit about it, so I can't really be excited for that. Laid Back Camp, don't give a fuck. Sword Art Online. I'm way behind on that.
Not really.
I don't give a shit. King of Thorn, I don't know what the hell that is. The hell's King of Thorn?
Yeah, I mean, it has like a 7 or something on Mal, so I'm not sure if it's actually good.
7 days a week that I don't give a fuck about King of Thorn. Oh, wow. That's right. I said it.
Yeah.
More importantly, I have defeated Pancake's father yet again in fantasy football. Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Chipotle is on big old dad tonight.
Oh, we're getting double meat and guac.
Is that the thing that you were
Double meat.
taking care of just now?
No, I just have massive allergies right now, and I'm trying to mitigate them as best I can. May I
know
go
what
next,
I heard
please?
helps? Know what I heard helps allergies? Quesaritos. Might as well get it.
Oh, I'm going barbacoa all the way, full on hot sauce. Okay.
But that doesn't cost any extra. You gotta make him pay financially and mentally and emotionally.
Well, I've beaten him now 3 weeks in a row, so he's probably already hurting pretty bad. All right. I have a few things here. So first of all, the biggest anime shop in the world is opening in Japan on March 16th. A business journal in Japan reported that the Animate main Ikebukuro store will have its grand reopening since COVID on March 16th, and it's expanding and is now the largest anime shop in the world. It will be built at the site of the former Ikebukuro Public Health Center and is going to just absorb all that floor space. The building's going to have, count them, 10 floors, including the basement, which is fucking awesome. It's going to have interactive experiences and services. This is where you can get your Kakarot Harem and in AR and VR, alongside anime and manga-related merchandise. There's going to be an event hall, a theater space, exhibition areas, and a cafe. So it's going to be like this huge fucking thing. It's going to be awesome. Further pushing Ikebukuro closer to being what used to be Akiba. I mean, I don't think Akiba is going anywhere, but Ikebukuro is really a happening area for anime fans. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to definitely be heading to that when I'm ready to go to Japan again. Also, I had to throw this in here because it's me. Sega opens a job listing for Associate Manager of Lore. Yes, you heard it. A mid-senior level position requiring strong project management and communication skills, but being, quote, extremely well-versed in all things Sonic.
That sounds pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That is the preferred requirement. So according to the listing, you will, quote, be immersed in the organization and shaping of Sonic lore, canon, characters, and universes, helping to bring consistency, connectivity, and creativity to all things Sonic across all forms of media, including games, animation, comics, and more. Where do I apply? Sign me up right now. Oh my god.
I feel like you should.
In my interview, I'll say I once gave Sonic a hug in Ikebukuro. He was walking on the street outside of a Sonic arcade, and I gave him a hug, and I said, "Oh, Sonic, I love you. Give me a hug," and that's what happened. So, where the hell is my fucking
I'm sure
Sonic
that you're
drop?
the only person that has ever done that.
Yeah, no, it probably happens like 10,000 times a day. Somewhere in here, I had a drop of Sonic, but I removed it because I didn't think I'd ever use it. So of course, now I need it. Now I don't have it. Also, side note, just a PSA. I told you guys to buy your yen. I doubt you listened, but the yen is now correcting. So you're running out of time. Buy your yen now. I told you to buy the yen when it was at 144 to the dollar. It went to an insane 150 to the dollar, which is just like mind blowing. You're talking like 70 years of history. It hasn't since it's been that week, But since the stock market had a huge 2 days last week, it actually strengthened by 10 yen all in like the span of 2 days. So it's currently sitting at around 138. It's starting to correct. Get your yen now. If you don't know how to get the yen, contact me on Discord. I'll help you out with it if you want. But you get yourself a cheap Japan trip in your future. That's all I got. Back to you.
Yeah,
Cotton.
I might want to talk to you about that because I don't know. Like, how much do you have to invest in order for it to be worth it, though?
I
bought $3,000 with a yen. So
wow,
it doesn't take much to be worth it. If you're going to go to Japan and you know that you will,
yeah,
any amount that you put in is worth it at this stage.
Yeah, I mean because like in another year. It might be 110 yen to the dollar, but you could have locked it in at 140, so you're getting like a 25% discount on everything you buy if you do it. So I locked it in at 144, and just saying, you're running out of time. And I have no idea what it'll be by the time this episode comes out. But that's enough from me. I've taken enough time. Mason, what is hot in your world?
I just picture listeners coming into our Discord like, what's going on here? And Caroline's like, do Secret Santa, do Anime Club, and you're just in the corner like, hey kids, want to buy some yen? And they're just like, big news in my world, surprise, surprise, it's movie news. Naoko Yamada is set to direct another feature film at Science Saru. She is an esteemed director, and she said she's currently working on the storyboard for a new untitled film. This will be her third entry with Science Saru. Since leaving KyoAni, she did the Heike story that we reviewed a little while ago. I thought that was pretty good. And she recently debuted Garden of Remembrance, which has not come over here yet. It's like hot off the press, but I'm excited for it. And it's glad to hear she's busy and pumping out more stuff because I really think she's great and puts out awesome work. So get excited for that. Also, a little personal big news. I'm going to Anime NYC. Unfortunately, it was kind of a last minute thing, not doing any panel, not doing anything much, just going to hang out there. But if you happen to track me down and see me either at the convention or just in New York City in general, I made some prototype stickers for the podcast.
Oh my God, you did.
I did.
You're such a rock star.
So I will be giving those out for free before we do a big unveil and do a big and improved version. So excited for that, and I'll report back on any convention news and happenings and all that fun stuff. So that's next weekend. So get excited. And that's all I got.
I am.
Well, that should be fun.
I'm actually doing my application right now for the associate manager of lore at Sega. Pancake, are you ready to move to Burbank, California?
Fuck no.
Because Sega has a job where where the preferred requirement is knowledge of all things Sonic, and the job lets you shape the canon for Sonic's future games and media. How does that sound?
I mean, the job sounds fun, but why the fuck do you need to go to California?
That's where
you will not get me to move there, ever.
That's where every Japanese company is. They're all in California.
I don't give a fuck. We're not living there. Get a remote position. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, Mason, what days are you going to be at the convention?
I will probably just be there Saturday. I don't want to deal with Sunday because I need to get back here for the show.
You could hang out on Sunday too.
No, I think just one day will be enough, and it was kind of a last second decision, so we'll just do Saturday probably.
In the meantime, I will be at my sister's Friendsgiving, and it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm making sangria, and I made cookies. So.
It doesn't get much better. I'd rather go to that than Anime NYC sometimes, but we'll see.
You can come, but I'm sure that you would rather go and make use of that $60.
I have all these stickers.
$70
I gotta
ticket.
give them to someone.
You
Yeah.
have all the. You could give them to my sister's friends, but
Wild
Hey,
Sangria
guys,
and
happy-
Anime NYC.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving. I brought everybody a sticker.
You get a sticker.
And you get a sticker.
And you get
get
a sticker.
And you get a sticker.
well,
Oh,
shall
right.
we head into our main topic for today?
I'm going to leave this juggling of things up to Mason because he's the
Gotcha.
man of juggling.
Mason has all the arms.
We haven't prepped them, but do we want to do it now?
Well, yeah, I guess so. You might
Too
as
bad.
well.
You better be listening live because we're gonna send it. Here we go.
Yay!
Oh my God, is it my boy?
It's time for Anime Around the Horn. Featuring special guest host, the purveyor of Gundam, the Frigimon fanatic himself and friend of the podcast, it's Andrew.
My God, Andrew, look at that stash.
Oh my
You
god.
look so sexy today. Wow. 10 out of 10.
Oh my goodness,
Someone
schmoozing
trying
him
to butter
off the
me up
bat.
before we get
Yeah.
started.
Look, I'm his favorite. He won't say it on camera, but I am his favorite, so fuck off.
Listen, if Pancake
Hold on,
wins this
I'm
game
his
today, we'll know
favorite.
why.
Hold on. Pancake, I've definitely said this on camera. You're my favorite.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Oh,
I still love
Suck
you,
it.
Caroline, but I have history with Pancake.
Yeah.
Like, we go way back.
Yeah.
so-
I
Way
knew
back further
Andrew.
than any of us.
Yep.
It's your show. It's your show, Andrew. We're on Around the Horn, baby.
Oh, right. I don't remember how this game works, but I'm gonna host it anyway. So let's do
Yeah.
it. You guys ready for this? Okay.
No,
Yay.
I did no
So,
preparation.
so I wrote some rules on. On the document. But first of all, I want to thank you for being here. You're a great friend of the podcast. We met Andrew on the Japan trip, which was like 5 or 6 years ago now, and it was
Almost six,
awesome. Andrew, do you have anything you want to promote while you're on here?
Okay. Let's see. All right. So, hi, I'm Andrew. I also go by Frigimon Fanatic. That's me on Twitter at Frigimon Fanatic. FRIGIMONFANATIC. You can clearly tell I do this on a regular basis. And I have I guess I have an anime podcast I sometimes host. I released an episode for the first time in 2 years a month ago.
All right.
With other friend of the show, BCom.
Yes, other friend of the show, BCom, and Mom
I
on the
listen.
Discord
I
server.
listen.
Wait, you actually listened to that craziness? Oof.
Of course.
Oh,
You're
man.
my
It was
boy.
Great.
You're my boy.
What was the other thing I was gonna say? Yeah, so that is ROAAJ Cast, Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. I release infrequently. I don't have the machine or consistency of the beast over here, Mitz. Like, I don't know how Mitz still does this. Like, 12 years later.
Here comes
Is it
Pancake. Go
12
ahead.
years later?
Listen,
She's been trying to kill this podcast for years.
that is not true.
Oh.
That is not true. He does spend about 20 to 25 hours a week on this podcast, though. And I will say...
It's not that much.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Between watching anime, recording your news, getting your news, editing the outline, editing the podcast, editing the extra episodes, he spends a lot of time.
Listen, she's right. Okay, AAApodcast.com/join or Patreon. Just kidding.
Yes, join the Patreon,
Oh,
subscribe, give them money so that Mitz can have more time with Pancake.
I'm
And
going
then
to have
by
to stop
I don't
Pancake.
know if that's what's going to result. I feel
All right.
like
All right, we're going to practice
it's
for the
probably
show
not
here.
gonna stage much.
Pancake, you're frozen. You're done. That's it.
On ice.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on,
You're,
why am
you're
I not
unfrozen.
seeing my
You're
lovely
unfrozen.
bestie Pancake, by the way?
Ooh, shit.
Because she's off screen.
Yeah, she's off screen. She's,
Yeah, I didn't want to put a bra or
I ain't going to
pants
lie.
on.
It's not decent over here.
It's not.
This would be a hentai episode real quick.
I was laying in bed and Mitz comes in. He's like, "You can come out now," and I'm like, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to put clothes on.
Listen, I know we're going long here, but let me just tell you what would happen if I had her on camera right now. You know, in anime sometimes when there's like a guy walking through a crowd of students at school and like all the girls are fully animated and colored and all the guys are just like blacked out shadowy silhouettes. It's as if they don't even exist. That's what would happen. It'd be Pancake and Mitsuki on screen and they'd be like, oh,
boobs.
Was Mitz on this episode? I don't even know. I didn't even realize he was there.
Boobs.
That's what would happen.
I think it's more of, what's this? Our Twitch count is rising astronomically. We're going off the charts level.
It's going viral. Breasts are in action. Okay. All right. Well, we have
All
four.
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
The rules.
Yes.
So we should get this going. There will be approximately, we'll see at the rate we're going, because I tend to derail stuff. I apologize. There will be about 5 rounds. So here's how it's going to be. There are 4 commenters, Mitz, Mason, Caroline, and Pancake, and they're going to discuss a topic which I have chosen because I'm in the driver's seat now. I probably said I'm the captain. Anyway, whether they agree or not, points are awarded during the course of conversation for strong points made, or just at the whims of the judge, me.
You're so powerful.
Each discussion is intended to last about 4 to 5 minutes max, and after the third topic, the contestant with the lowest point total is eliminated. After the fourth topic, the contestant with the lowest point total is eliminated. And after the fifth topic, there should just be one, and they shall be the Horner.
Oh,
The Horner?
The horniest
The
of
horniest
all.
motherfucker here.
If I said the horny, it was just so obvious.
I said it
had
for
to
you. That's okay. Actually,
I
Pancake
had to
did.
subvert expectations, right, Mason? Do that old Yuasa thing.
You got it, my man.
Creamy
winner gets-
mommy?
Oh, creamy mommy.
Mommy? Sorry.
Mommy,
Mommy?
Daddy?
I feel like
Daddy?
you don't use that drop more than you should. I feel like you should be using that drop more, Mitsuki.
Oh,
Whenever
I
there's
don't even.
something that just
I never
like-
loaded it on the soundboard. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Wild. And the prize, the grand prize, is the winner. The winner gets to say whatever they want for 1 whole minute.
There you go. Very
Could it be
exciting.
a minute of just straight cussing?
Penis.
That's what Pancake would do.
Is the podcast no longer G?
Oh, we curse all the time.
Oh, it's definitely rated R. I would say
It's gone explicit. I love it.
it's been explicit for a long time, my friend. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Have
When
you
was it ever
heard
not?
Pancake speak?
Like ever? Have you ever had a conversation with me?
Every sentence has the word
I've
fuck in
had
it.
several. It's so good.
All
It's
right.
so good. All right. So my powers, I guess, so that everyone's aware of what my powers are. I can make up any rule I want at any moment because it's me. But also, I will award points whenever I hear people say things that I like as it goes along. 1, 2, 3, 50, probably not 50. I am reasonable during the conversation. And I'll just be saying point.
There you go.
Try not to let that distract you. I know I have a very sexy voice.
Mm.
And I guess I will give 3 points for a really good made point, but I like to just like piecemeal my points out. I think all points are good, maybe, and it's very rare to get like you blew my mind kind of point. And if you blow my mind, you might get more than 3 points. And at any point, I can freeze a contestant. I get this is a big one, but I feel like in anime, it's so hard for anyone to say something so egregious that I'm going to need to freeze you. So, challenge accepted or sent? I don't know. But yeah, if you're getting out of hand, I will be like, you frozen.
Froze that
Okay.
bitch.
Don't come after me like that. We haven't even started.
All right. I will use a random dice that I have lying
Oh,
around
beautiful.
to determine who is going first.
Oh, I knew you'd have dice.
You should roll a dice to figure out which of your dice to use for the game.
Only when
So
I'm playing
is
the
this a
Digimon card
conversation
game.
between the 4 of us? So we just like talk as we normally would, but try to get in our talking points.
No, I
as
think
much
it's
as
supposed to be
We
possible?
take
timed.
turns. We take
I think
turns.
it's supposed to be like
It's
30
around the
seconds each.
horn.
Yeah.
Ah!
So 30 seconds each. You played this last time, Caroline. What?
Episode 605, if you're
One.
curious.
If this is a
Yeah,
meeting,
by the way.
this would be the point in the meeting where everybody has round table and everybody gets to say their piece and everybody says, "No, I'm good, thanks."
I want to say when I went to go look for the podcast notes for this, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy prep. I'm gonna just go get the podcast notes. They weren't there, and I was so sad.
I just want to say,
Anyway,
I just finished applying to the official manager of lore at Sega. It's done. I expect to be hired within 3 weeks. Thank you.
They didn't require an essay about Sonic in your application?
I don't know. I probably should have wrote one, but I'm podcasting. I don't have time. All right.
No, he reads essays. He doesn't write essays. That's a
He reads?
podcast trip.
I don't know how to read.
It's a
I was
podcast
born in
trip.
West.
Yeah,
I was
he
born in
doesn't.
West Virginia.
No, this was a lore question about podcast trip where you had us all write essays to get on the trip.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Lore
and I'm sure yours was fantastic because you were.
No, it was
'cause-
terrible. I didn't make it past the essay round.
Well, how did you end up on the trip?
I impressed you.
Oh,
I went straight to the top.
Shit. See, I mean, it's not,
Ooh.
and that's why you're still here. There you go.
I'll say that Andrew's already passed for the next podcast trip.
Yeah, and if Andrew wants to come, I won't fight him.
There's so much
right.
collusion on this game show already. I love it.
All right, let's get it started.
Anyway,
I
let's
feel
get it
like
going.
this is
Yes.
already the longest episode ever.
No. I'm gonna be good. I promise. I have a timer here and everything.
I'm ready. I got my water.
I got my jelly
Okay.
beans.
So timer, stopwatch. Everyone's gonna get 30 seconds. That seems fair.
Okay.
To
fair enough.
talk about each topic, and we're gonna go with and they're gonna go in order as I have them on the document. And so I figured a great way to start this round off would be to ask a question we asked in the first game, episode 605. All right. So Caroline, you're going first, and the discussion point is: there's lots of anime. We know it. You watch a lot of it. You're forced to watch a lot of it. Some of it you love, some of it you don't love. And you guys go through a selection process to determine that. But what if they made that selection process easier? Should there be fewer anime made per season?
Do I start now?
Go.
There should not be fewer anime made per season because with the large variety of new anime fans that have recently become part of our community, a lot of different tastes go around. There are so many people who have interests in different shows. And I feel like just minimalizing the amount of shows put out per season, it's going to minimize the amount of interest that people have in anime that, we have now. And yes, there are anime that don't have amazing quality, but by lessening the amount of anime put out, that's not going to ensure higher quality anime for what is put out. I'm just saying that it's not going to do much except
Freeze.
what?
Oh,
I said 30
he
seconds.
froze you. Wow, damn.
Well, how was I supposed to know 30 seconds was up?
I said time. All right.
I didn't hear it. Sorry.
He's got his
Well,
It was
authoritarian
quiet.
on
It was
today.
quiet.
I
to be
froze
fair.
you. I froze you.
Get mad. Get big. Also, I turned
Can
up.
you just say like beep?
Well, okay. It's like I'm gonna just do this. Okay, so I'll do this. It means time. Okay. In the future, I'm gonna say time.
Okay.
Mason, you're next.
I agree with not Caroline, but the same point I made a year ago, which is absolutely there should not be fewer anime. It offers no benefit to the emerging fan base who likes different things. The same way as saying, oh, there's so many talented musicians, but if we got rid of all these bands, all those talented musicians could go and play in one band and be really good. That's not how it works. There's enough good ideas out there, even though they're not always expressed well. There are good shows in every genre, in every avenue, and sometimes you gotta make a crap ton of bad ones to find the good ones, and that's how we get there. That was probably about 30 seconds.
That is actually 30 seconds time. All right. I'm not allowed to take away points, right? Before I go forward.
No,
You can make
I
up
think
rules.
you said
On
at the
the TV
beginning you could make up rules.
On the TV show, they do take points away sometimes.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just gonna give you a point warning, Mason. There are not good shows in every genre.
Oh,
Ooh.
Hot
Ooh.
take. Pancake, you're up next. Hit me
All
up.
right,
30 seconds.
Here we go.
Start.
So there definitely should be less anime. As somebody that has to watch a shit ton of shitty anime with Pope Mitsugi, we could do with 50% less isekai to make at least one good isekai. Please. Thank you.
Okay. Point. All right.
Mitsuki, did you say there's no good slice of life out there?
I'm just joking.
There are good slices
There's
of
good
life.
stuff in
Okay,
every
okay, okay,
genre.
okay. Because I was about to say there are certainly some.
I feel like Mitz would say I don't know. Anyway, I would say that there are good slice of life out there, and I think he would agree. But Mitz, you're up. Your time starts now.
There's not enough labor to spread across 230 shows a year. Why are you going to bother watching anime when you can't even get a good anime nowadays because they're all spread so thin they're barely animated? So you're better off consolidating the talent, consolidating the animators, and ending up with at least a guarantee of enjoying a few shows a season rather than sifting through and wasting your time on a bunch of garbage. I'm tired of watching lip flaps with no moving backgrounds. And really, you deserve better. Your time is valuable. You only exist on this world once. And there you go.
All right. That was a good, fun first round. Now everyone has an idea of the amount of time they have. We're making it snappy. We're not making this the longest episode ever. Plus, I get to say more if you guys talk less.
Can we have a point? Are you keeping totals on the points? Because I am too, but I want to make sure I got them.
I am. Everyone should have 2 points right now.
Okay. All right. Everyone has 2 points.
That's his way of saying he hasn't determined which of us is his favorite yet.
I'm his favorite. Shut up.
Just being yelled at by this disembodied voice. This is what listening
like
to the
a phantom.
podcast must feels like. Yeah, just hovering over us.
It's so clear too. Usually with like phantoms, it's a lot of like cross messaging lines, but nah, it's coming in nice and clear and thick. Question 2.
I love it.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't write actual preambles for all these, but I'm going to come up with one right now on the spot. Given this recent success of the anime on Netflix, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and due to the fact that it is, in a way, an adaptation to some extent from the game Cyberpunk 2077, I think is the title. Should more Western video games franchises be adapted into anime? Should more Western video game franchises be adapted into anime? Said a little bit more with a better rate of speaking. We're gonna start with Mason on this one. And your time starts now.
No, because most Western video games are just not that well written story-wise. We mentioned, lack of animators being a barrier for good anime being made. Really, I think at the core of it, there's not a lot of good stories to pull from. That said, I think a lot of Western video games serve as a better basis than some of the Japanese games that are being adapted, which, I mean, I'm playing the new God of War, and that has a great story, and there's Last of Us and tons of good things that we can pull from. So I think in some way, yeah, I'd rather see some Western video games be made. I'm not looking for that genre.
Okay, yeah. When I say time, you can
Yeah,
finish off
I
the
know.
whole sentence. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like, zip it.
Just cut it off. No, Mitz in editing is going to go back and do a hard cut at every 30-second mark. Make it fall like we're falling down a well. I'm like, and I'm
Yes.
Mitch, you're up next, and your time
You
starts.
said me? I'm up next?
Yeah, Mitch. Yeah,
Okay.
you're up next. I'm randomizing who goes
Sure.
in the order each time, not just so that everyone like whatever. Mitch, and your time starts now.
All source material has quality content. All fans of all properties deserve to have animes made that they will enjoy about properties that they've already enjoyed on other mediums. It's also less risk for the animation studio. When there's a property like a video game that has had a lot of success, then they know that they can put the proper amount of funding into it and they'll have a success. It actually reduces the risk and gives them a reason to invest in an anime property, which means you're probably going to have a better anime overall in theory. And if you have trouble writing from Japan, they have source material elsewhere.
Okay. All right. Caroline. you're up
Okay.
next. And your time starts now.
I would say no, it's not completely necessary for more Western video game franchises to be adapted because not everything needs to be adapted. If it doesn't have the story, it doesn't make a good anime. And just by virtue of being a good video game doesn't mean it's meant to be put into animation. You can have fantastic video games with really great qualities that just don't make it work for anime. So yes, if it has great qualities that would make it for a good adaptation, absolutely, go ahead and animate it and get it a great fan base too. But it's just not needed. Absolutely.
All right, cool. You guys aren't making this easy for me. I'm just saying. All right, Pancake. There's a lot of pressure on you. Bring it home, bestie.
Mostly from syrup.
Your mustache looks great. So anyway, so here we go. The Witcher, for an example, would have been a great anime. I know they did live action, but everybody's angry about how they're replacing the actor for The Witcher, and they could have avoided that completely if they made that into an anime. I think there are a ton of video games that could be made into anime, and going back to Mason and Caroline's point that we shouldn't cut down the amount of anime, that contradicts what they just said. They should be making more anime out of Western properties and video games.
Time point. Oh, I love the spice.
Wait, what was the contradiction?
You said you don't think that they should make more anime out of Western properties, but in the previous debate, you said they should not make.
There's a difference between wanting more anime and wanting more anime from this like pool of ideas.
Oh boy, here we go.
But do you not like Castlevania?
I don't.
You didn't like Cyberpunk?
I did like Cyberpunk. I'm just not saying all this same, like, I'm not saying we need to have all this anime from Western video game franchises. I think we keep them as a level. We can pull from them. It shouldn't just be like the next trend of, oh, we got to grab all these Western anime. And we should really like emphasize that as the future of where we get our
I can freeze these
animation
motherfuckers if you
from.
need me to.
Oh, right, I forgot. No, I'm sorry. I'm loving the drama.
And this isn't for any points or anything. This is just a discussion.
No,
No,
Definitely
this is
not
just
for
a
points.
this is just a discussion.
You did say
Yeah.
point when she complimented your stash, and I don't believe I heard the.
I didn't give her the actual point.
Oh
Mason.
my!
Can we have
I
a
don't have the
Law.
actual points.
can we
She
have
just
a point check?
Everyone is tied. This next round will determine the first loser. I mean, the first non-winner.
We're all tied at 4.
I forgot we're in PC culture now.
We're all tied at 4 points. Is that right?
Yes, you are all tied at 4 points.
Oh damn! It's a 4-way tie.
Yeah, damn, okay. I think this next one. I think for this next one, I will give you. Sorry. And I think for this next one, I will give you 45 seconds because I think this is an important round, okay? And I think that. Sorry, excuse me. Wow, what is going on, Friggy? And I think this should make it interesting. So the next question. Given the success, well, maybe not the success. I'm going to stop saying that. Given that Urusei Yatsura is being remade for a new audience, a Rumiko Takahashi series from the 80s, who I personally don't know would even hold up in today's society given Rumiko's humor, but whatever, that's just me. I haven't seen it. Given that a lot of shows have been remade over the past years, and this isn't actually uncommon, like we can go back even to Hunter x Hunter a decade ago.
That's
Sure.
about 2011.
2011? Yeah. Oh, wow. It is a decade ago, right? Should anime studios, though, give up on remaking / rebooting anime? And when I say remaking and rebooting, I'm talking about anime that have had a season before and are not continuing. So this is not like Bleach coming back after 10 years to continue the story or anything like that. But like rebooting, like from the start, just remaking it now. And if so, how long should they wait? Like when like how long should they wait? And so you're gonna get 45 seconds for this. So yeah, like when I say remake, reboot, I'm not talking about shows coming back after X amount of years. So not like database show. I forgot what it was. Log Horizon coming back after 5 years. Overlord coming back after a couple of years. Attack on Titan not being around for 5 years. I'm talking about like actual remakes and reboots. Should anime studios do this? And should they should they continue this? And if so, if there is going to be a reboot, how long should they wait for this reboot to occur? All right.
Bridgie, I love you, but that's evil putting that song stuck in our head right before we have to think about it answering this question.
Wait, what song?
The database opening.
Oh,
I'm just
I
gonna be
only
thinking about
remembered
it the
by
whole
its
time.
Does everyone understand the question? I know it's a
Yes,
little...
we do.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, I started with Mitz last time?
Mason last time.
Me.
Okay, so I will start with Mitz this time. And right, I should. Ugh. And your time starts now.
I really don't agree with remakes. I think anime already has enough unoriginality in it. They already have trouble writing shows. They're all the same. Why are you going to do a reboot? It's like literally just a carbon copy. Come up with some original content, for God's sakes. You're killing the anime industry with so much stagnation. Also, the turnover rate in anime is like 3 to 5 years. It's been said for a long time. The anime fandom lasts about 5 years max on average. The people that are going to be watching these shows, they don't remember the old one anyway. There's no point of doing the reboot. So you're just wasting your man hours, your talent on stuff that's already been done. Just go watch the original. It's probably better anyway. And if you are going to remake it, though, you need to wait until at least there's a reason to do it. Like there needs to be a technology shift. There needs to be you need to be going from hand drawn to CG.
Okay. That was a good round. Let's see if people can come for this point.
I'm a coming. In my pants.
Come on, chameleon. All right.
Psychic warfare in Caroline. You see what I just did?
Next up is Caroline.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm ready.
And your time starts now.
We should not be giving up on reboots because there are so many reboots that absolutely needed it. Fruits Basket, we got in Full Metal Alchemist. We will be needing a new Tokyo Ghoul. All of these anime desperately needed to have reboots because their stories were bastardized. They needed the upgrades of animation, etc. And I feel like the turnaround on Full Metal Alchemist was quick. 5 years is pretty quick, but I feel like that is the baseline for the amount of time that needs to be passed. Because there are definitely anime fans that can get into a franchise after the first one has been out, like Fruits Basket. I've never seen the original Fruits Basket, but now I like Fruits Basket because of the reboot, Mitsuki.
Point.
So therefore, reboots are necessary.
Oh, the call out.
The call out.
It's coming with the fire. I love it.
I love it.
Bring the pain.
People haven't figured out how to get extra points with me. Just saying. Anyway.
Your mustache is beautiful.
Thanks, Mitz.
Oh yeah, I mean that.
You get half a point because.
That's the tiebreaker. That's the tiebreaker.
Wait, a half a point for what?
Oh, don't worry about it.
These are personal Friggy points. You guys gotta come up with new I have all the other features that are very nice. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracting, and the audience hates it when I distract. So, Pancake, you're up next, and your time starts now.
I think there is a time and a place for reboots, but with the mass amount of reboots currently, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, we don't need the Disney effect happening to anime, where everything is just a reboot or being turned into CG or just changing like a minor thing here and there. I can understand like where Fruits Basket was fucking trashed in the OG because it wasn't finished, rebooting that. But maybe we should just start fucking waiting for the mangakas to finish their work before we start making the anime in the first place, so we don't have to reboot it. It seems like a waste of time and the animator's energy when we could be telling new stories and like creating new worlds to visit. It's just so saturated.
Okay, time. Okay.
I wonder who's next. It could be Mason.
It's Mason.
I think it's Mason.
Okay. Mason just swallowed so hard.
If he just skips me, I get no points.
It's hard going last because all the points have been taken. Oh my goodness.
I know.
You got this. You've had the longest time to think, though.
It's true, but I've had too much time. It's good to go like second or third. That's
Stewing your juices.
No, I think third is hard because like you see both sides at the beginning, and then you're like, well, I could.
I know, it's great.
What was that?
All right, Mason, your time
Mouth
starts
noises.
now.
Rebooting and remakes are terrible. They should never happen. They have never yielded something that is worth it in my mind. Yes, you have superior versions like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Fruits Basket and Hunter x Hunter, but fundamentally the draw and appeal of those shows were there in the original. They're just a new way for new people who are too scared to go back in time to appreciate them. So yes, they have some function, but I don't want to see them. What I do love is reimagining. So you have shows like Assurance Sins, Devilman Crybaby, Osumatsu that are just a complete departure of a thing that already exists and still brings interest and new eyes on this franchise without changing, stomping on, and bringing a new freshness to it that is love. Think about Lupin the Third, which is a continuation, but it has brought so much life and, invigorated everything. It's really good.
Okay. So we have a problem.
Uh-oh. Everybody's tied.
No. Mitch, you're ahead by 1 point. Caroline's in second. Mason and Pancake are tied.
You have to make
I'll take the L
call.
on this one. Just kill me. People like Pancake.
just
I'm always on
suiciding
the
himself.
podcast. Listen,
Okay,
I get
well-
paid whether I'm quiet or not, so I'll shut up.
I'm
I don't get
gonna make
paid.
a producer moment. I'm gonna do a producer moment. I think that the next question is going to provide some spice, and I think Pancake might provide more spice than Mason. So I'm gonna take the producer mode here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, Mason, you X, you're out, you frozen.
Ba-bam.
Do we have a
Right.
brr?
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.
Nice.
Woo! Wait, hold on.
Thank you,
Doesn't
Jim
work on
Carrey.
camera.
I appreciated your career. You were a great Dr. Eggman.
I still have not seen the second movie.
It's
Go
fucking,
see it.
fucking awesome.
Knuckles
okay.
is so freaking cute.
Better than the first movie by a mile.
Oh, really? That's good
Yeah,
to hear.
it was awesome.
Also, I heard they're doing Rush Hour X Sonic. Apparently.
We are
What?
getting off topic.
Oh, right.
Rush
sorry.
Hour Sonic?
Damn.
With
Update your
with
lore.
Chris Tucker?
Apparently, we'll see.
Oh,
apparently.
shit.
Apparently, we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see.
See,
all right.
I just gave Pancake a full education on Chris Tucker, which includes a whopping 3 movies, Fifth Element, Rush Hour, and what was the other one? Oh, and Friday.
Friday.
Of course. Yeah, damn. All right.
All right.
Chris
Before I
Tucker.
get in trouble, question number 4. All right, and remember,
Numero 4.
someone will be eliminated after this round. All right. And we're gonna start with Pancake on this one.
Fuck.
Because I think I haven't started. All right. Is there such a thing as too much fan service? I don't have an intro for this one. That's just literally the question.
All right. Well, I'm ready to go. Yes, there can be way too much fucking fan service. All right. I was watching this anime for this week, and let me tell you, there was no reason for me to have to see that little girl's panties like 3 times in the first 2 episodes. All right.
Point.
Like, come on now. We cannot have a serious anime without showing a little girl's coochie. Can we just like back up a little bit and like have a good story without saying, hey, here's some giant elf boobs, or hey, we need to have this serious discussion, but oh, in the background you can see this girl leaning over and every inch of her cleavage. It takes away from anime more than it gives to anime. I get we all need something to fap to, but we have a whole genre for that, and that's called hentai. Go watch your hentai and get your smut out of my show. Thank you.
Time.
See, this is where Frigimon's
damn.
producer chops really have come clutch. He made the right decision there.
And can I just say that I'm getting some fan service right now next to me?
Are you getting too much of it? Make it
Too much. It's overload. If Master Roshi was here, he'd be in some deep shit.
Is that some blood
right.
coming from your nose, buddy, or
I'm trying to hold it in.
that's why you're sniffling all the time?
No, that's the cocaine. Just kidding.
Caroline, is there such a thing as too much fan service? Go.
Yes, there is such a thing as too much fan service. How can I get emotionally invested in a character when all I can see are their boobs or butt? How can I feel a scene when the camera is up a girl's hoochie? It doesn't work. You need to have some serious moments with some serious characters that look like characters and not just sex icons. As Pancake said, that's what we have hentai for. That's what we have all of these shows that you can watch specifically for that. Keep it out of my beautiful anime that I can, enjoy the characters and not feel like they're disrespecting the characters that should be meant for entertaining. And is there any time left?
Oh yeah, you have 5 seconds.
Oh man, I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
Go fill your spank bank somewhere else.
Oh shit.
Pancake had so many good points that I could.
Thought
All right.
I thought we were gonna get 45 seconds of Pancake going penis, penis,
Oh, there's
penis,
45
penis,
seconds. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I gave you guys 45 seconds.
I
as
know,
we
I
do with the
forgot.
People, so you can get like some more points there, and like.
I feel like I
stuff.
screwed that up.
This is a really tough one to
okay.
go through it on. I'm telling
All
you that right now.
All right, Mitz. All right, are you ready?
Probably not.
Okay, well, your time starts now.
There is a such thing as too much fan service. Anime need to be able to stand on their own and rely on other things about them that are great, other than showing little girls in swimsuits for the entirety of summertime render. It's really not necessary, to be honest with you. But there are other shows where it's fine. Peter Girl, for example, that's a show that requires a lot of fan service. Ichizoku Reviewer is fine, but you're going to turn off a lot of viewers with fan service. You're going to you're changing the entire demographic of why people watch it. You take away from the seriousness of it, and people have a hard time buying into something when they're staring at nudity all the time. It's just not necessary. You don't get it in other mediums. I don't know why it has to be in anime all the time. I'll say it again. It's not in other mediums. Why does it exist in anime?
Point. Okay, time.
And I will
All
say
right.
I will say
again,
this about the whole summertime rendering thing. Like, yeah, she was wearing a swimsuit, but they
The
really could
whole
have gone ham with it. They could have given her
show.
big old jugs. They could have put her in a bikini, but she's in
we're
like
gonna
a
talk
school
about
suit.
this.
So.
but Caroline,
It's really-
Hold on. 1 second. I
We'll talk
want
about this
my
later.
30 seconds. Okay.
Oh, here he goes.
go,
Y'all
go,
suck.
Andrew.
Is there such a thing as too much fan service? Hell no. Sometimes your story's so boring. I need those big titty goth chicks in front of me to make your show more interesting. I need to see that ass all up in my face to get my rocks off, so that, because you ain't getting it off intellectually, and I'm sapiosexual. So if you ain't gonna get me off there, you might as well get me off somehow else, okay? Like, too much fan service. Also, it's not all about boobs and butts. I'm watching a mecha show. I want all that mecha fan service, okay? I want to be like turned on and be like, oh my god, did you see that suit design? It was
You see
so
that
sexy.
cockpit?
Like, for fuck's sake, yeah. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Anyway, there is not such a thing as too much fan service. Anyway, that was my soapbox I wanted to get on. Actually, there is such a thing as too much fan service, but I just wanted to make a devil's advocate argument there.
Caroline.
That was Frigimon's Creamy Mommy arc.
But why did they need to put her in the swimsuit like the whole
All
time?
right, we'll talk about this
Like,
later.
I'm
They
not
actually
gonna be
do
here.
explain it.
You could sit here if
I
you want
feel
to.
like
for the review.
it didn't really take that much away, to be honest.
All right, you have to kill off someone else, Andrew. Who's it
It's
going to be?
Caroline, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Uh-oh, the married couple faces off. Soft serve milk, table 2.
Oh, congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Though I'm gonna have to have words, Bestie. Why wasn't I invited?
I didn't invite my family.
No one was invited.
Well, you know what? I feel much better now. Thank you.
We did it in Iceland.
And that it
Fair.
did look pretty cool.
So where'd you have
Fair.
the
I went to
reception?
Costa Rica for a different wedding. That was actually anyway. Off topic.
Off topic.
I
It's okay.
like to talk. Okay, hold on. So at the end of 4 rounds, Mitsugi's ahead by 1 point. Okay.
What happened to his half point?
No, the half point was personal points.
Yeah.
I won the
He's
last
Brownie
one.
point.
I won
And
the
he's
last
losing
round.
by a half point in the personal points.
Oh shit.
So, all right.
I'm really good at arguing, honey. Did you know this?
This one is a weird one. Okay. And I think it sort of brings back question 3 in some ways. All right. But I think it provides interesting discussion. I don't know. I think I should give each side a minute, just to be fair.
Oh my god, a whole minute. Fuck.
No, we'll do 45 seconds. You're right. Then the prize should be 2 minutes for the person who gets to talk at the end. And I don't know if I can deal with 2 minutes of unadulterated.
Of me.
Well,
I'm assuming I win.
well, you assume incorrectly. Maybe we'll see. Who knows? Is this fixed?
It could be fixed. I'm sensing it.
Is it fixed?
I'm starting to wonder.
I'm saying, Mason, you can
Check
win
the voting
here if you give me
machines.
some good old. You guys can win right now if you provide me some good old clout.
Ooh.
Okay. The question is, and I feel like we're running long, so I apologize.
It's
Should
actually fine.
anime adaptations take creative liberties over the source material?
I'm going first. Thanks. Ladies
You went first last time.
I don't care. It's just Mitts.
Wow.
Are you okay with it? I was gonna let Mitz go
Wow.
first, but if Mitz is willing to cede the first point to you.
She can go first.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, you have 45 seconds, and your time starts now.
No, they should not. Every time they take liberties with the source materials, we end up having to get a fucking remake. All right? Fruits Basket. There you go.
Point.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There you go. Then we have like a multitude of other examples of just like trash where you're like, that didn't happen in the manga. And then everybody's fucking pissed off. Just follow the fucking manga. There's a reason it's getting made into an anime. Follow the script. It's already written, you dimtards. There you go.
You still have 15 seconds.
Oh, I still have 15 seconds? Well, I don't have anything else. It just sucks. Stop doing it. Like, everybody gets pissed off. Stop pissing off your fans and alienating people. Because then you have the manga people and the anime people fighting.
Now you're at time. I'll give you a point. For
Why is this girl in a swimsuit? That
She's wearing
shouldn't
my
be
Pope hat
allowed.
now.
The
What is she
manga
doing?
has the girl in the swimsuit.
All
No,
right,
you
Mitz.
shouldn't have changed her out
Pancake.
of the swimsuit.
Pancake, can I hear your Pope voice since you're wearing the hat?
Like your Pope
She's
voice?
wearing the
No,
hat?
she's wearing my Pope hat right now. You can. It's your own voice. You just make your own Pope voice.
Here at the anime church, we kick moe girls down into the pit of hell.
It's more like, here at the anime church, we push and kick those moe girls down into the pits of hell. Actually, probably that was not a Mitz voice. So,
You got the camera. You got the thing right in your face.
nice.
There you go.
I can't believe you still have that hat.
I do. Still have it.
All these years.
I still have the
God.
hat.
You got that what until like year 3 of the podcast?
Yeah, it was like the very beginning.
Was it really year 1? I
think
wasn't sure
so,
if it was
yeah.
year 1 or 2.
I'm not
Okay,
sure. I think it
sweet.
was. I think it was year 1. There's no date on it. She's looking for the date. Don't crush
if
it.
you were made anime president, will Pancake be promoted to anime pope?
No, she's the anime first lady.
So you will be both pope and president.
That's right.
I mean, that's sort of how it works in Vatican
I'll still be
City,
the
right?
queen of pancakes.
Okay. Mitz,
Mitz, it's your turn.
good luck. You have 45 seconds. This is sports. You need 2 points to tie, I think.
Okay. Well,
You need
just
2
let me.
points to tie, 3 to win. All right.
All right.
You got to make some good points here. And your time starts now.
I'm gonna play both sides here. It is true that when people do make
Hearsay.
when people make okay, all right, you freeze you out. When people make adaptations, they do get when they change things, they do get mad because then I have to hear people that read the manga talk about how much better the manga is, and then they deter people from watching the anime, and that's not good.
Point.
But I also can't sit here and complain about how uncreative anime is, and at the same time tell them that I can't let them take any liberties with anything that they do because sometimes the manga is not good. And there's things that are wrong with it that could be fixed, or maybe the mangaka has regrets that they would like to go back after the fact and change this or that about it, for example. And also, if a manga isn't finished, then you'll have no ending without a creative liberty. So you can't just have, you can't give every anime the Space Brothers treatment, where they're leaving the viewer hanging.
All right. You that last point, you clutched it out right at the end. It was almost a tie, but you clutched it out right at the end. Okay.
Wow.
And our winner by 1 point.
It's the fucking Pope again.
You guys gotta stop letting me do this. I gotta stop being a host. I gotta come in here and then I can take him down. And now you guys did this to me.
Is Pancake
All right,
eliminated?
Mitz. Well, it's the last round, so you win.
Oh, perfect. I want to play this drop for Pancake.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
To be fair, Mitsuki doesn't
Fantastic.
win. He rarely ever wins anything
It's
on
true.
this.
Mason
podcast,
usually
so
wins.
That
you
is
can give it to him.
that is true.
I'll host next time, and I'll let Andrew fight, and I'll give the points out.
All right. Well, since I have a minute, since I have a minute to say whatever I want, I would like to say that similarly to how we have anime that are in Netflix jail or Disney Plus jail, there are a lot of anime that are in jail because they don't get endings. We talked about this last week, but I'm very passionate about it. There are a lot of anime that don't have proper endings. Hunter x Hunter didn't get a proper ending. Space Brothers doesn't have a proper ending. Berserk isn't going to get a proper ending. There's so many shows out there that are just frozen in time where they get the Game of Thrones treatment. You've been watching this show for a year, 2 years, everyone's excited. You know, you're on the 937th season of Attack on Titan, and then they decide they're not going to finish Attack on Titan, and then everybody's sad. And then all that does is make me feel like that's an advertisement for the manga. Oh, go read the manga if you want to see the ending. No. You did 100 episodes of Space Brothers. I think it was actually 99. I want you to finish it. Go back. It's a great show. There's really no reason not to finish it. Make that happen. It was popular. I have a fucking mug with Space Brothers on it. There was lots of merchandise. There's reasons. Get back there. Make the fans happy. They deserve it. They were with you all this time. They spent a lot of money on you. Do right by the fans. Finish your anime that you began.
None of those manga are over yet, though.
I don't care. Keep going, baby.
No, I mean,
So
you're
you
at
want
time.
anime original ending?
Well, either do that or, hey, mangakas, not everything needs to go on for 20 freaking years. I get it. One Piece is great.
Fair enough.
But also end it. Like, you know, you can end some mangas. Some mangas end, and they're better for it, I think.
Well, for Berserk's case, there is a reason why that can not properly end.
Well, obvi for Berserk. But I'm saying,
They're
like,
still doing it. They're still doing
say
it.
you
They're still
did.
gonna try.
I say you.
But like, look at the Death Note people. They've written like what 3 or 4 different series at this point. Like they end their stuff. They don't need to go for as long as they do. And like, you know, or what is it?
Listen, I'm a Narutard, and that shit needs to end.
It does.
Like we're on
Yeah.
Boruto now. Like, just stop.
You know
I
what's
like-
funny that you bring that up, Pancake? One of the questions I was debating, okay, is should long-running shonen anime keep making sequel series with the characters' children? Was actually one of the questions I thought.
Fuck no. Quit that shit. That's why we have what are they called? When fan fictions, all right? Leave some room for the fan fiction writers, all right? Come on.
And can
now.
I just say one more thing real quick on that note? Would that be allowed, Andrew?
Your podcast.
Yeah.
Your
I mean,
hope.
it's still your show at the end of the day. My part is done.
I feel like people get very like tiptoey about this, and I'm not that person. I don't give a fuck. Togashi needs to get off his ass and finish shit. Guess what? Everybody has back problems, including me. I got 3 slip discs. Get it done. You're a multimillionaire married to an even richer multimillionaire. He's married to the fucking creator of Sailor Moon. Quit being lazy. Go hire a fucking crew of people to do it. Tell them what the damn story is and make it happen. It's not fine art. Your style can be replicated. Fucking pay some people and get your goddamn property finished because I'm tired of hearing this. Oh my God, it's been 9 years and one more volume of Hunter x Hunter came out. I'm sorry. Almost everybody has back problems. Get it finished.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, I mean, he
Not
already
sacred
finished the
after
series.
all.
What
I'm
was
angry.
it that Kim Kardashian once said?
Angry about it.
Get off your fucking ass and work, or something like that.
I
Yeah.
hate her.
I re-
Don't
I hate
speak
her
her
too.
name.
And on that note, I realized
No,
George R. R.
I
Martin
don't
is.
like her either.
I realize George R. R. Martin is really rich now, but finish your fucking books. People deserve it.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like
There you
either finish it or get a ghostwriter, right? Like there are
Exactly.
people who can replicate your style. I mean, after what's his name died, Brandon Sanderson went and finished the books in a style that people said was an actual like worthy successor, right? So people can. You're not so special, right?
Yeah.
Mitsuki, you're not
That's
so
right.
special.
Get it done. People
and you
deserve
have
it.
the money. Just
All right, Andrew.
throw
We
money
do.
so you can make more money.
We do love you, but I'm playing you out. Thank you
Bye,
so much.
Andrew.
Bye.
You are the
Goodbye
hostess,
to your
the
mustache
hostess
as
with the
well.
mostest, and our fans love you. And thank you for being a great fan, a great friend, and a great fan of the podcast, and a great member of the Discord. And we'll have you on again, I'm sure, if you'll have us.
Always, whenever I can, and whenever you'll let me on.
All right, bye, Andrew.
Take care.
Love you, baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.
And with that, perhaps we should get into the in-show weekly trivia question. What is the starting date of the events found in Summertime Render? And we will share the answer after the news break.
Hey, Anime Addicts, Mitsugi's here. I'm bringing you your anime news break, getting started with some Cyberpunk Edge Runners news. It looks like this has come full circle. Cyberpunk Edge Runner, the anime, is getting a tabletop RPG, which is funny because the anime was based on a video game by CD Projekt Red, and that video game was also based on a tabletop RPG. So we've gone in a full circle. Our Tolsorian Games, the makers of the tabletop RPG, which the Cyberpunk 2077 video game is based on, is going to be doing the new game, the new tabletop game. Cyberpunk Edge Runner's mission kit uses the same setting and game system as the original tabletop game by the Tolsorian Games company. If you're a big fan of Cyberpunk, look out. It's going to be getting another tabletop game coming out sometime pretty soon. Next up, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is getting a third season. There was a live viewing event for the anime's film, and during this feature, they announced that the third season is going to be coming out. So we already know that 8-Bit produced the first anime season, which had 24 episodes in the fall of 2018. And a second season, which came out in two episode parts in the winter of 2021 and also the summer of 2021. So it's back. More slime action coming at you. Next up, Elon Musk has bought Twitter, and of course, chaos unfolds across, the platform as many people are popping up to make fake accounts and also to just say and do dumb shit. And it looks like the Magical Girl site manga creator Kentaro Sato wants royalties from Elon Musk. So he's chiming in, pointing out that a meme that Musk posted in March uses artwork from his manga. And so he, quote, Twitter's new CEO Elon Musk has been posting my drawings without permission, so I'd like a usage fee of about $1 billion in dollars, he said on Monday, which I'm sure will be met with much ridicule and eye-rolling as, the use of that image is probably worth about $3. But the chaos across the web continues to unfold as Elon Musk descends upon Twitter. Scary music is now playing. The original TV anime, The Marginal Service, has been announced for 2023. Video game company Cygames announced on Thursday that this new anime title is going to be coming out in 2023 from director Masayuki Sakoi of Shincho Yusha and done by Studio 3 Hertz. There's really no synopsis of what this will be, but the title, the promo image, has a bunch of naked, muscly dudes standing around with some caution tape blocking their genitals. So I really have no idea what this is going to be, but heck, for all I know, it could be a escort service anime. This is Mitsugi. This was your anime news break, and now time to get back to the podcast. Anime Addicts, the AAA podcast, is always trying to bring you new and exciting ways to enjoy our content, and now we have an exclusive member-only RSS feed on the site that is going to let you access our hentai episodes, our Hobby Addicts, and our After Parties episodes, all from your favorite mobile apps. That's an additional 8 episodes of content per month just for you, and you can listen to it through Apple Podcasts app, you can listen to it through Podcast Addicts, Pocket Cast, Overcast FM, Downcast FM, etc., onward and onward. So many mobile apps for you to choose from. If you were holding back on supporting the podcast because you didn't like listening to our extra content through our website, now you can get it and listen to it the same way you enjoy all your other podcasts. So pitch in, help out the podcast, do a good thing, and enjoy all the extra content we have for you. Just go to aapodcast.com/join, and you will get all this extra content and an exclusive member RSS feed for you to enjoy. That's aapodcast.com/join, and support the podcast. It's hard to break away from the songs. It's so fucking good. All right, guys. In Summertime Render, What is the starting date of the events that happened in the show? And the answer is July 22nd, one day before Pancake's birthday. She just told me she wished.
How about that?
She was like, I wish this was real in real life because then I could do my birthday 15 times. Like, yep, you could. All right, guys.
You get bonus points if you get the year as well.
Oh, fuck.
Do any of you remember the year?
Hell no.
2018.
That's right.
Oh, damn.
She's on top of it.
Damn,
She
Caroline's-
knows.
Caroline's on fucking
Because it was like
fire.
in the last or second to last episode they said
Yeah.
that, and I watched it last night.
Are you guys ready for mailbags?
Sure am.
Yeah.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag.
If you would like to leave a mailbag, head on over to aapodcast.com, not clom, .com. Click on the mailbag button at the black and put in your mailbag, and you'll put it in. We'll answer it.
Well, I'll be
This
dipped
one
in
comes
shit.
to us from M. I believe is one of the pit masters of our Betting Degeneracy channel on
Oh.
Discord.
Is it
And they
is
write,
this
"Hey,
Lady
y'all."
Emery?
I believe
it
so.
We
First
think so.
time mailbag, so hopefully I can make it quick. Thank you. We need it this episode. I finally got around to watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it made me wonder, of all the Gundam style anime you've watched, which series/movies ranks as the best, and which do you deem as the absolute worst?
Oh, man.
Keep up the great work. Would you like to take the lead on this one, Mitz?
I'm not really.
King of the Horn, the horniest of the batch.
I am currently
The Horner.
Yes, I will. I will, and then I'm going to order my Chipotle on Pancake's dad's dime. So
Remember,
very lovely.
quesarito, double meat, and
Double
guac.
meat. Oh, nice.
Food references. Jelly bean. Here we
I'm
go.
gonna run it up, guys. I don't know what Gundam style means except Gangnam style. But the highest rated mecha show on my anime list is Code Geass. So for whatever that's worth, Code Geass is pretty solid stuff. And the lowest rated mecha show on my anime list is Asura Cryon, which was a terrible anime. I couldn't even get through it. So there you go. I don't know. A lot of the Gundam shows are good. You know, they're better than a lot of mecha shows. But there are a lot of good mecha shows out there that aren't Gundam. So they're worth exploring. So and Code Geass is one of those. What do you guys think?
Code
I
Geass
have not
is
seen
pretty
nearly
fun.
enough mecha to answer that question. So, Mason.
Yeah, I know she knows what mech style is, but because she referred to it as Gundam style, I'm specifically going to assume she means human life forms entering and controlling various mechanized robots. So I would say one of my favorites, outside of NGE, as you mentioned, is Gurren Lagann, and I think some Gundam are really good. And I would say one of my absolute worst favorites, not the worst mecha show, but the worst of like people getting in a robot and controlling it, Darling in the Franxx, just it was not for me. And I would say a bunch of
me
other
neither.
Gundams are also really bad. So
Yeah.
there's a gamut.
Yeah, Darling in the Franxx is it's trash. Honestly, I didn't. It's just a code point made. That show is an example of too much fan service. It's just
Quite possibly, but
it
it served a lot more purpose than a lot of the other things in that
made
show.
a lot of money too.
And I also have not seen a ton of mecha to properly, talk about the genre. But that is that. Thank you for the mailbag. Thank you for all the help on the Discord. And if you would like to leave a mailbag, please again go to the website where you can do all the other things like subscribe and help us out. And don't forget to use our Amazon affiliates link because it's right before the holidays, and I know you're going to be shopping. People do be shopping, and I want kickbacks, please. Thank you very much. Edit that out. And are we time for the review, you think? Maybe?
it's time.
I don't know. I don't really feel like no.
Yeah, you're like, this is a bit off.
We're going a little long
This
now.
is your baby, Caroline.
It is my baby. Okay. Today we are reviewing Summertime Rendering. It is a spring 2022 show, 2 core. And I did impressions on it back in episode 639. You can find it, ? on Disney Plus, but it's not out in the US yet. When that will be, we have no idea. But we just decided we're going to review this shit anyway because it's been long enough. Totally unnecessary for how long it's been. And I already have Disney Plus. So
Boo,
it's not
Disney.
as if they are I'm not taking away any money from them by watching this show ahead of time. So let's get to what Summertime Rendering is about. It's about Shinpei Ajiro, who has been living with the Kofune family after the death of his parents, and has been living, of course, with the Kofune family's two daughters, Mio and Ushio. And although he left his home island to continue his education in Tokyo, Shinpei returns after Ushio tragically drowns in the attempted rescue of a little girl. And now during the funeral, his best friend informs him that there are bruises found around Ushio's neck, which makes him believe, was this really just a drowning? And so, suspecting that a murder had taken place, Shinpei reevaluates the recent events, and the strange incidents only continue to transpire. Disappearing people and unexplainable occurrences lead Mio to recall an old folktale referring to entities called shadows, which may not entirely be fantasy. Supposedly, an encounter with one's shadow foretells the person's impending demise. And so this anime is directed by Yumu Watanabe, who did Gurazeni, Mysterious Girlfriend X, and Komi Communicate, Space Brothers, etc., etc. Done by Studio OLM, which also did Komi in the original Berserk. And the source material is a manga. So, Mitsugi, what did you think going into Summertime Render?
So, I expected it to be good because you as well as other people had said it was, and it has great scores online. And I also was told it's extremely violent. So now I just watched The Terrifier 2, and I'll tell you right now, this is not violent compared to that, but that's about what I expected. Good and violent.
All right, Mason.
I have read a bit of the manga, and I really wanted to like the manga, and I kind of just didn't jive with it. And the reasons why I didn't love the manga are the same reasons I feel the way I do about the show. But I was hoping that this adaptation captured the tone of the show with like a few tweaks to improve the experience.
Well, I had not heard of the show before I picked it for impressions. I thought the plot sounded very interesting, and then I watched a few episodes. I'm like, holy shit, I like this show. And so I passed it, no question. And so I waited eagerly to finally get to review it, and here we are today with spoiler-free recommendations. Mitsugi.
So here's the bottom line with this anime. It is recommendable, but it's too long. This anime would be better served as 12 episodes. The concept is unoriginal, but the execution is great. This is not the first anime where you loop when you die. Okay, like it's not even close. I mean, there's at least a dozen examples, but the execution is better than most. The animation is sharp, which is very nicely animated. The violence is very welcome. I think for fans of time travel and action, this is probably going to be a good show for you, but it does wane as it goes on. It ends up being more of an action show and deviates from its original concepts. And honestly, I think it overstays its welcome. We were becoming quite bored by the midway point, thinking that this anime shot its load really early on. Like they were at like endgame level shit, like in episode 7 or 8, and it's just too soon. It really could have been a one core. That's the bottom line, but it is recommendable.
Now, did you end up finishing the show? Because I know you were saying, like, I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it this week.
We did not finish the show. I got to about episode 16.
Okay. And Mason?
I do not recommend this show, but it is a good show. I just feel like for most people, this show is somewhere in the Venn diagram for people who like time travel mystery plots and people who like battle shonen with intense fights going on with 1,001 chess pieces going on. And if you're in that overlap, definitely check out the show. As Mint said, it looks good, it sounds good, it feels good, it does what it's trying to do well, but it kind of is a tale of two halves that just feel very disparate and kind of step on each other's toes instead of being a nice dance. So there's a lot of good things about this show. I just think if you come here liking one aspect of it, the other will leave you wanting more and kind of disappointed. So if you like both of those things, please check it out. If not, I think for 25 episodes, it's a lot to ask for.
All right. Well, I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. because I thought the characters were good. I liked the setting and the mystery. And as Mitsuki said, the concepts have been done before. Even by the first few episodes, I could comfortably call it Higurashi meets Re:Zero. But honestly, I don't think that made it any less enjoyable to watch for me. And yeah, it could have been a bit shorter, but I didn't find too much of a problem in how long it was. Like, I didn't feel like it was repetitive to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, can we just like skip past this, please? The ending was not what I would have preferred, and I did feel like they were just like coming up with rules towards the end. Like, of course, it's all made up stuff, but I just felt they were just I felt like they were making things up by the end. And all in all, with those criticisms, I thought it was a well-produced anime that unfortunately just did not get the attention it deserved when airing, because it wasn't airing anywhere. It took so long for people to actually get it. So with that, I do think people should at least try to check it out when they're able to.
And I do want to say that there were 2 reasons why I didn't finish this anime. One is because it was a crushing work week and I forgot. And I didn't remember till like late Thursday. But 2, having it and be in jail on Disney made this much more difficult to watch. It's not dubbed. You know, I had to like jump through hoops to get it. I had to watch it in uncomfortable ways. So it does matter. So having it be in jail did suck. Now, thankfully, and I want to give a call out, I did have a member on the Discord. You know who you are. I don't want to out them. But someone did finally offer me all 25 episodes in HD quality on a file sharing thing, and I got them like that. And they looked gorgeous. So thank you to you. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have watched it at all. So thanks to that person, and they knew who they are. Do you guys want to go to spoilers?
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I feel like some shows were like, oh, spoilers, like, yeah, you can listen, and it's not going to really like fundamentally change your experience. And I think in some part it's there, but there's a lot to spoil in this show. So if you are interested, please just give the show a chance. Like, just get out there. You'll know if you like it or not. And that said, I definitely hard agree with Mitz that this show, the shit hits the fan very quickly, and it just shoots up and keeps on escalating. Like, it just ramps up. Every episode is like, oh shit, oh shit, oh. Like, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and reaches the peak pretty early on. And I think, Mitz has been talking about all these scary movies he's been watching. One of the tenets of scary movies is don't show the bad guy too soon. You need that suspense. You need to build it up. And this show does a pretty good job of, although they show their whole deck of cards pretty early, and it kind of almost ruins it, they do enough different things with the bad people, the enemies that they're facing, and changing, because so often villains are very one-track minded people. And it's the bad guy, and once you identify the bad guy, all that's left is to beat them. But this show does a pretty good job of exposing them early, but then kind of compensating for that by saying, oh, there's a little more to them. They have a couple different powers. They have a different tone on things. So I did like that in some regard. What did you guys think?
You see, on that point, I agree that they kind of delved more into their different abilities and ways that they can get around the problems that the heroes face through all these loops and all. But in my opinion, I was not huge on Shide being the end villain. So I don't know if Mitsuki got to this point, but Haine and Shide, they're kind of like a duo, but Haine's, the goddess, so Shide is kind of like doing her bidding, kind of. But Shide is kind of like pulling the strings behind the curtain, trying to use Haine for his own devices. And honestly, I just thought that Shide was just comparatively uninteresting. Like, the moment you start making references to video games, I just want to pull the plug like you would a video game.
That was pretty odd.
And I thought that was pretty stupid. And like, I kind of get it. By the end, he like explains that he's about to die because Heine's about to die. He's about to die. So he'd rather end the world and see that end before he himself does. But
I like how our first
like
discussion is jumping right to the end. I love it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Heine should have been the main villain all along. Like, I feel like she's in that gray area where she is, you know, a goddess, and this is just her way of life. She has these abilities, and she's also like a mixture of a small child and an all-powerful being. So, I don't know.
I agree with everything you guys have said. I think the consensus in the group, because it was more than just me and Pancake watching this, actually, and I'll comment on that later, was that this anime was too quick to get to the point. You know, it was very shocking to see the actual, like, quote-unquote bad ending on, like, episode 6 or 7 or whatever that was. I definitely did get to Shide and Heine, or however you want to say her name. And, yeah, and there were some pretty stupid references. Like, why is a god of death, of shadows, or whatever referring to, like, modern-day video games? It's pretty goofy.
Well,
he's not a god. Is human.
Shide is human? He didn't look human.
Human, technically, sort of.
Wow.
He's hybrid of a shadow and a human.
He's
but he doesn't have any shadow powers,
transfers his
really.
body. I will say the one thing about the show is everything I didn't like about it, which is a lot. Showing the panties, talking about Final Fantasy VII, like a lot of things.
I didn't catch that.
It did give some discussion on it, and some reason where you're like, you know what? I might not have liked it. I might have found it tasteless or kind of odd, but at least I could say they had some reason for it. And the reason why Shinpei is questioning this priest who's lived 100 years about what video games are you playing? What are you playing these days? Is just to like help try to like cement his like suspicions that this guy is ancient and is not of modern times and wouldn't know such things. And that's the most modern thing in a lot of ways that would be so gone from the past. So I get it, even if it is a little strange at times.
I also
You see what?
also just going regarding Heine or whatever.
Heine.
Whatever the fuck. Heine, I can't remember how her name is spelled, but honestly, I didn't think about this at the time, but I'm thinking about it now. Anime just like, and I refer to anime in like the large universe of anime. A lot of times it seems like the ultimate villain of these shows is a little girl.
And
I don't understand it. Like, I get it, she's a god or whatever, the god of the island, which I don't know why the god of the island wants to kill everybody on her island, but you know, I didn't get that far. I got to about the point where he was at like he had about one loop left, basically. Is about how far I got. And yeah, I just don't understand why the god is like a little girl always. It just seems very stupid. I don't know. Like,
this show was a lot about having young girls, because it's not just Heine. It's the daughter of the convenience store. It's a lot of ladies being evil in the show, usually against their will. But I mean, the god is a whale. It's something, and then it just gets transferred. It's how it happened.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of strange how this anime gets set up, because like you could say like, oh, she's a god, and this is all like having to do with like the spirits and all that, but really it's more sounds like it's actually about alien life forms coming to Earth and being treated as gods, because that was their theory, that she was actually like an alien life form. She crashed into Earth, took the presence of different animals in the sea, then she turned into the dead whale, she washed up on shore, and then she took the form of a human, and that's how she got to the island.
So she's Fushi from To Your Eternity.
Could be.
Sure,
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Yeah, so but
and it's kind of
and to answer your question on why she wants to like completely destroy the people on her island, I think it's only because that's the only way that she's going to get restored to her full health, is to eat that many people.
Not a very good
it's
god.
kind of in line with just general imagery of just like shrine maidens and people who serve the gods being possessed by them. I feel like we're really digging into like these little plot things, because that's really the crux of the show.
There's a lot of good stuff to talk about, though.
Yeah, like there's so many things where
there is one thing I want.
Yeah, go for it.
I lost my manners. I'm so sorry.
No.
With Shide, one thing the main thing I'm just like, wait a minute, what is the fact that this guy has been reborn for 300 years and looks identical in this teeny tiny island with less than 1,000 people on it. How did nobody like scratch their head? Hey, this guy and his son, with no mother that we know of, for the past 300 years, they look pretty damn identical. How does that? What? I feel like that's very noticeable.
I'm gonna say some more negative things, so I want to say some good things first. This anime looks incredible. The
it's good.
OLM continues to just be a great studio. They
did Odd Taxi too, right?
Yes.
They've done a lot of great shit. I mean, they did the original Berserk. They've been around a long time, and they're just good. They're just good stuff, honestly. It looks great. When it turns into more of an action show, it moves well. I love watching Ushio kind of like ice skate her way through the ground when she's getting ready to like fuck someone up. They don't cut corners on the action. Like, you get some pretty good scenes of like people getting kicked in the face, shot. Like and they don't hold back on the violence either. There's definitely some grotesque stuff in here by anime standards. You know, I've been watching a lot of horror movies. It doesn't quite stack up to Art the Clown, but it is, as it shouldn't, by the way. But it is violent, and it will scratch that itch for you. I just think that it's one of the best looking shows I've seen in quite a while. And it's very impressive for it being 25 episodes. It's really a long show to be maintaining that. So
there was
props.
One strange episode where they put in a couple of weird faces, I thought. I don't know if you got to that point yet.
Yeah, where like Nezu's yells at the girl, and
like,
his head gets
weird
really big.
Facial expressions. I don't know. Maybe they got like a different episode director.
Yeah, Shinpei has a couple like grimaces that look straight out of Grand Blue. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I do agree with
other
Mitch.
than that,
It looks crisp. It looks solid. There's moments where characters get shot, and they have the appropriate amount of blood spray when they get hit or they don't get hit in their body parts. Like, there's just a lot of like good CPR technique. Just a lot of things are very solid. My biggest complaint with the visuals are kind of twofold, and they're minor, but they're saying the director Ayumu Watanabe is usually very solid, but I found a lot of these shots were just too zoomed in on characters' faces or bodies, and it just took up a lot of real estate. And just some of the fan service at the beginning, because yes, it is a little overwhelming and distracting and pervasive to make all of these female characters a little sexual, and I get that it's very front-loaded, and it really doesn't develop that and make it a persistent thing, which I like. But there's a difference between Mio going down on her bike, hitting a bump, falling into the water, and we see her panties. Because, yes, it has some narrative stakes. The big thing is Shinpei sees those panties. He witnesses them, he gets information out of it, and it makes a difference. So that, while is fan service, has a place. The different fan service is when a couple episodes in, there is the shadow Mio outside the door. Like, she's holding a knife, she's coming in, dangerous. And he wants to know, is Mio safe? And she's taking a bath. She is naked in the shower. If we are, in the eyes of Shinpei, we don't know who's behind that door or if anyone is even there. So if they keep the camera outside the room, we keep the unknown, he opens the door and he just gets hit with the nozzle, that is fine. But because the camera is now in the bathroom and we see her without clothes, that is where it crosses the line into just pure fan service. And that's part of the moment where I'm like, we don't need that. Like, that's just incestual undertones, and it's gross. So the show looks great, and I'm not taking away. That's just like the difference between passable fan service and the fan service that I personally am not a fan of.
And let me comment on that, because I watched this show with a girl who doesn't watch anime. We had a friend watch it, and I was like, "Hey, come on, you're a high school teacher. Like, you're always talking about how all your kids are all into anime. Is like, now you can be hip. You're gonna watch like this show that is somewhat popular."
Why did you watch an unvetted show with someone who doesn't watch anime, Mitsugi?
Because
that's
anime should be for everybody.
She can handle it. She can handle it. She's pretty tough. But there were two things I want to mention. One, this show opens with a boob face plant.
It does it a couple more times.
Kind of sets the tone for some things. It's a little eyebrow raising, but Also, as Mason just said, this show has a lot of incest tones in it. Now, I know that they're not like blood related, but you have the love triangle going on. But she was definitely a little weird about the fact that like this brother and sister who are adopted brother and sister, but regardless,
if I don't call you brother, we're not brothers.
And
like it's adjacent. It's adjacent to incest.
It seems incredibly unnecessary. There's absolutely no reason in the plot line at all that had to happen. He could have been a family friend. It could have been anything. But they actively chose to make them related because, I don't know. And
they're not related.
Well,
they're just growing up together.
I mean, you can say that, but it bothered the random person who like doesn't watch anime. So
yeah,
like I can watch hentai because I've seen monsters like rape women in hentai like 4 million times. If I sit this girl down and show her a hentai like that, she's gonna walk out of my house. So like this is not a great way to attract new anime fans. Like it's just not, and it's unnecessary. Also, I don't know why Ushio is in a swimsuit the entire show, and they definitely took the advantage. I know plot wise why she's in a swimsuit, but they easily could have changed that, and I don't know why they just took advantage of the fact that she was in a swimsuit. There's at least a dozen, maybe a half dozen to a dozen shots of her in doggy style, bent over, camera from behind, right at her like vagina. Boom. Like, why is this happening?
I don't really think it was that bad.
I mean, it was noticeable to me. I mean, I just don't know why that there's. Why does it have to be a skin-tight swimsuit for 25 episodes?
But it could have been so much worse. It really could have.
Listen,
like
I don't
she's
hate...
she's basically wearing a school swimsuit.
I don't...
They could have put her in a very scantily clad bikini.
It's half the outfit, it's half the framing and posing and shading and detail.
I don't hate this anime. I don't hate the anime, but choices like actively making a non-plot related reason for them being related, sort of, it's just unnecessary, and I just wanted to call attention to it because it is there, like someone's not gonna.
I felt it too, and maybe it's just because I like the show, and also because I am an Ushio and Shinpei shipper, that I kind of ignore it.
So
that's the whole point of this show. The show is not to save the people who are dead or to bring back your parents who have been gone forever. No, it's to make your sibling romance a-okay, baby. Yeah, Japan. Yay, Japan.
Let's pivot to the characters, because you guys done with the fan service talk?
I think so.
So Pancake made a comment about episode 12 or so, or 13, I can't remember, that I hadn't really been thinking about, but then when she said it, I thought about it, and I think I agree. I recall that Pancake said that the characters in this show are not very good and are unbelievably forgettable. And I said to myself, is that true? And then I thought about it, and I think it is true. Like, there's not a lot of depth to them. There's really no backstory for most of them. I don't know. Are you going to remember Shinpei and Ushio in 6 years?
I'm going to remember Ushio. She's my new waifu.
I'll remember that ass.
I also am not a huge fan of the characters. First of all, I found the voice acting either to be too comical or poorly produced. Like, there's a scene where a character is talking while they're holding their nose, and it doesn't sound right. Or, like, voices underwater don't sound right.
Oh, yeah, that irritated me. Like, why are you guys talking underwater? That makes no sense.
Yeah, Shinpei is not much of a great character, but he is, like, just a vehicle. And most characters here are just a vehicle for events to happen to, and they just kind of exist. And I get and I appreciate that a lot of them are quick on the uptake. Like, they don't have to have a lot of exposition to what is happening. But at the same time, like, think about all the small backstories we got. Like, we had that, like, 2-minute thing of, like, Nezu, the old guy with the gun, who's like, I need to, keep my wife, who was a shadow, and hold this whole thing, and now I'm going to kill her. Like, all that thing just felt soulless. And I get that we're trying to get a backstory to him, but it was just, because it was so shoehorned, it felt shallow. Same thing with Bucci, their grade school teacher, or just even a lot of
that was really random.
The repeated promises made to humans to side with shadows. Like, everyone who's helping the shadows had a very shallow reason for doing it. I need to kill everyone to save my wife and family, even if it means shooting my own daughter.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god,
it was just a lot of stuff that you just accept, and you're like, well, like, it's just animated characters. It's not real flesh and blood. And So I agree with the characters, but I think the big appeal is the plot. But go ahead, Caroline. Tell me about Tokiko and that whole family's nonsense.
Mitsuki, did you get to the point where we meet the doctor and Tokiko and So's father?
Sato, the guy with like the rectangular glasses.
Maybe.
And
I mean, they
then we
definitely
get
went.
I think you did. I think that was right near the end.
They definitely went down into his basement.
Yeah.
Yes. So we meet him, and we discover that his wife and So's and Tokiko's mother is actually a shadow, and she died many years ago. And it turns out that in her place is the shadow, and his whole goal for helping Haine and Shide is for the promise that they gave him with no proof whatsoever that they will bring his wife back to life, or they'll be both turned into shadows and spend the rest of their life in some other dimension, and he will also take his children with him.
Yep.
And because of that, he knows that this whole plan is going to get everyone killed, and is right now getting many people progressively killed, and he's still doing it. And then he shoots his daughter in the face with no hesitation whatsoever. Because in this very unproven promise that they will turn his daughter and eventually his son into shadows. And he shoots her in the face. And then Shinpei
Pretty,
says, I don't really think your father's that bad of a guy. And he's saying this to the daughter that got shot in the fucking face by her own father.
So he did it for the mother?
Yes.
Yeah, to keep the mother away from the clutches of the filthy humans who are trying to make her not the shadow that she is. Even though that's not what she's trying to do. They're just trying to get to the characters just exist and things happen to them. And you care because the plot is interesting and there are stakes and the safety of the island and the world are at risk. But like the individual person, you're just like, oh, he's kind of cute. She's kind of cute. I guess I'll cheer for him.
There was a moment in this, and I think that this anime is executed pretty well. It gets worse as it goes on. I think that Haine or whatever being able to teleport as well or whatever she was doing was a problem in this anime. I think that it made it more of like this cat and mouse through time show and less of him trying to figure out the answers to the test. And I just look at other shows like Live, Die, Repeat or Higurashi, for example, just two prominent examples, both of which I think did this better. Higurashi is actually very similar to this anime. They're both set in like very hot, like summertime places. They're both set
small town.
They're both a small town. They're both mostly kids. Both shows are violent, and the plot line, while not the same, is still about
organizations promoting evilness, that kind of thing.
It's very similar, and but I still find that the execution of this anime is good. It's better than most, but there was a scene in episode 7 when like the shit is hitting the fan early on, where the shadow Shide has erased everything except the boy and the girl, whatever the hot girl's name is, who's crazy.
Izuru?
The crazy girl. The schizophrenic girl or whatever. I don't know what the hell's wrong with her, but yeah, something up.
I thought her split personality was stupid, but then they kind of like, oh no, she literally has another being inside of her.
Yeah,
so that made it make a little more.
Anyway, but like, why not just erase Shinpei right then and there and end it? He went out of his way to move the shadow liquid around him and opened the door to allow, and they knew he was teleporting. And they just literally opened the door to allow this to continue. Like, that was the bad ending of the show. The bad ending is everyone gets erased in front of Shinpei, and then he gets erased, and that's it. But like that doesn't happen. And then he allows whatever the girl's name is to shoot him in the face with the shotgun, which is a very good aim, by the way. And it continues. But was there a reason why he let him go? Because that was the end right there.
Did they know that he could loop at the time?
I think they did know. I will defer to you guys, having seen more of the ending. I can't remember.
It's been a while since I saw
But I think, having just watched this, that they knew. They knew that he had the power.
Are you talking about when they're down in the cave?
No, I'm talking about way before that when he...
After the massacre?
the massacre where
on
Heine
the
eats all the people. And by the way, should I just go to Osaka? Because that'd be a lot more people there. Like, this should have taken place in like Shinsaibashi. Have a lot more people. Yeah, like it just seemed like they went out of their way to extend the anime. I mean, clearly it can't end like that, but honestly, I don't know. That was my thought. Do you guys like how the anime was executed? I mean, do you like that Heine was able to chase him through time over and over and over again? And
I thought it was pretty interesting because they did have to change their strategy so many times because of that.
Yeah, I didn't mind that it started off as a mystery. They kind of uncovered the secret, and then it turned into, like you said, the cat and mouse thing. I enjoyed all of that mechanically, and I liked the overall, just like the rules, parameters of the method of time looping. That made sense. It was clear, it was concise, and that was enjoyable. And I like the moments of Shide like learning from fights in past loops and bringing that forward to like Caroline said, like it's the cat and mouse where both sides are learning from the mistakes of the past, and the final shots of the culmination of everyone's efforts into helping reach the finale is good. But the general shift to these, oh, we're going to shoot him with a nail gun, to these powered up fight sequences where this guy can see 2 seconds into the future. This person has endless regeneration. This one has body possession. This one has all seeing eyes. This one can use objective thought to dilate time so that they can move at a supersonic speed. Like,
there was no explanation for that either. Like, why does him thinking clearly and objectively allow him to slow down time? And also, I just hated that little catchphrase. Like, every single episode was like, take a step back, think objectively. I'm like, oh my god, shut up.
Yeah, and I get that's like, oh, because he's the one perfect for it, which allows him to objectively observe the universe and craft these parallel worlds. Like, I get it. I understand what happened with all of these things, and you make the author made a statement, made a rule, and stuck with it, and I appreciate that. I just think they made way too many of these, and it just became, what about the mystery? I like the mystery and suspense. Okay. Like, there are cool scenes or cool fight scenes. Like, I think we'll repeat it. It's executed really damn well. It just started to not be as interesting and captivating to me.
And then I started to get worried a little bit when we had a whole portion of an episode devoted to the whole love triangle situation. So and when you break down, it's just, and I'm glad that it was not pervasive throughout the entire anime and mostly just noticeable during that one part in that one episode. But first you got Shinpei. He loves Ushio, but Mio loves Shinpei, and so loves Mio. And you know who also loves Mio secretly? Tokiko. So
we had to stop and
not necessary.
Yeah, I had to stop and like look all this up and be like, okay, this is who's related to this person. This person's related to this person. And we went through all that, and then I said, now this person likes this person. This person likes this person, and I had like I was like drawing a diagram of like how all these people connect. It was pretty funny. Oh man!
And speaking of which, I did also get kind of confused with the whole Shide situation, like, and like how he's related to the doctors and their history with Heine, and at what point did she start eating humans, and at what point did she stop being or having this little girl personality? Because while she has this little girl personality, she's also birthing several humans over the course of 300 years. It's weird.
And it feels odd to say, oh, in the supernatural show, supernatural things happen, but everything can't happen. It's just, it's a plate where you go to the buffet and you load it up with everything, but it doesn't really congeal well together. It just becomes kind of a messy plate where the components are good by themselves, but as a collective, it was just, who knows what's going to happen. It made it interesting in some times, but it also just made it kind of lackluster, which is why over 25 episodes it loses the core messaging.
I want to ask you guys a question, and then I want to see if we have any final comments, and then let's wrap it up. The question is, and I think I got Mason's answer already, but I'll let him answer again. Caroline, is this better as a one-core show?
I feel like there's quite a bit of stuff to fit into 12 episodes. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do think that they might have overstayed its welcome a little bit with 25 episodes. if they were to cut it down by a few episodes, or maybe even make it a core and a half, if that was a thing that we did in anime, I think that would have worked. But I feel like 12 episodes would have been too short. If you wanted to keep the meat and the potatoes of what this show had to offer and take everything else out, I feel like it probably would have lasted longer than 12 episodes.
Mason, what do you think?
I mean, just because I think 25 is too long, I think it all needed to be there. I think it's still got to be 2 cores. Like, it was a quick moving show. Like, just because so much happened and it was just very dense with stuff. I just think it was, the source material was just overly long for what it was trying to tell. And I think they needed to adapt it all. I applaud them for doing the full adaptation. And I don't think you can trim it up without like severe cuts. So,
do you guys have any final comments you want to make about this before we score it?
what was up with that Persona 3 OP with him like shooting himself in the head with like this chipper music? I did not like the OPs. That's all I got.
I definitely drew that connection. I didn't like the OPs either.
I like the first one better than the second one. I thought the second one was this way too much.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't my
But
thing.
even so, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say they were the best in any case. I have a couple things I was thinking about. Like, they kept on calling Ushio the egg, but they never really explained what the egg was. Like, I realized she's like a split off part of Heine when she lost her eye, but I don't see what that means. Like, the egg. They never specifically said.
Why is she gaining these powers? What is she improving? Like, how is she transforming? And has, like, why? That was the big thing that wasn't really well explained to me.
Yeah.
At least with my limited small brain understanding. My primordial ooze couldn't take it all in.
Speaking of sound effects, I was really annoyed with Shinpei throughout a lot of his anime because he kept on making these sound effects like when he was angry or injured. He was like constant. And I noticed it from the very beginning. He kept on doing it for 25 episodes straight. And I'm like, dear God, Shinpei, stop making that sound. It's so annoying. Am I the only one that felt that?
I didn't even notice it, to be honest
Damn
with
it.
you. Sorry.
I think the issue is I noticed it once and then I never not heard it. So I think that's the issue.
Your thoughts are valid.
That sounds like it.
Your opinions are valid, of course. I just didn't notice it.
Right.
Anything else,
I feel
guys?
like there is still quite a like. There's just so many characters. Like we didn't really talk about what's her name? The writer lady. Hizuru. Yeah, very much.
Yeah, we're not.
Best girl, go! Everyone, go! I think Mitz likes Mio.
I like Mio.
You like Caroline?
I think she was.
You like
underserved,
Mio?
though. Yeah, I think she was underserved though.
I'm surprised that you're not a new Shio fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No comment.
There we go. I'm ready to score this thing.
All right.
I feel like we're really harsh on it. I feel like we are coming here saying, "Oh, this was bad. It was too much stuff, and it was too ambitious, and this and blah blah." Blah. Like I had a fun time watching the show. There's been a lot more arduous 2-core shows that we've had to go through. So, at its core, like it's pretty solid. I just wish I could better describe what it is about the show that just. I appreciate the ambition. I just don't know what didn't click with me. So I don't know. I'm just gonna give it 3 cloned priests out of 5. Man, I wanted to like the show more, but I can't explain why. Good
Caroline?
thing I'm not on the podcast.
I didn't make it much of a mystery that I did enjoy watching the show, and as of course I mentioned, I have several criticisms for it. Like even the ending. The ending did bring my score down a little bit. I feel like it should have reflected a little more sacrifice and everything going back to a perfect utopia where everyone's alive, even people that were not even alive at the start of the show, and how everything just became hunky-dory when you have a massive butterfly effect that just rippled throughout 300 years. I feel like there is going to be quite a bit changed, except what was. I feel like it just we just took away all the stakes that were presented in the show. I feel like somebody had to die and didn't happen. And also things just got increasingly more confusing. And then we had a little your name moment where a sudden moment of realization between Shinpei and then Ushio at the end, which was cute, but like also, I don't know. Again, as much as I love Ushio, maybe she did have to die. I don't know. Anywho, I was going back and forth between scores, but even despite the fact that we brought up even more criticisms than I had to offer alone during this talk, I feel like the talk has been very interesting on its own. There's a lot of great elements in the show that I feel like is well worth watching. And so therefore, I'm going to give this show 4 controversial Mio's underpants out of 5.
I mean, that to your point, that is a credit. Is like this show makes you think and is good to discuss, and isn't just you watch it and you're like, well, that was a thing. Like there is substance to the show, and that deserves props.
The show is good.
Did I hear Pancake sneeze?
Yes, Pancake.
That was her going
so cute.
hissing.
The show is good. It really is. It's just too long. It's better served as a show where you're trying to piece together all the information to come up with the perfect path through the events of the days so that everybody survives or whatever. But that's not really what happened to me. To me, the show turns more into an action show halfway through. And I just didn't, I feel like the tones of the two cores were very different. It went from being like a mystery show to being like more like a shonen fighting show. And that's just not really what I wanted. And it's fine. It just didn't, I just feel like they gave up on that whole prior premise too soon. And I would have ended this show probably around episode 13. I don't think all the backstory was needed. I know all the info. It's like, you know, you guys have made good points. It's like you've said, everything was in there. You couldn't fit it in 13 episodes. I just don't think you need it all. I think the show was good before the 900 flashbacks. That's the biggest issue for me. Otherwise, the show's great. Like, it looks great, sounds great. It's very fun. The characters are, like, they're not obnoxious. You know, the premise is fine. It's just to me, it's just too long. We were both starting to get a little tired of it, like right about the point where I stopped. And that's probably why I stopped. If I was really still engrossed in it, I had more time to I could have watched more of it this morning, but I chose not to. For that, I am going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think the show, I give it four loops too many out of 5.
What? You said in Discord it was going to get a 1.5.
You got the old bits bamboozle.
You liar.
Do you honestly trust what I say in Discord?
Yes, I do.
Well, you shouldn't.
Oh my
After
goodness.
you shit on it so much, you didn't offer one shining note about it, or hardly any.
If there's
Mitsuki for president, don't trust anything he ever says.
If there is a crown to be given on the Discord for starting the most shit, it's me. Okay? And,
I'm shocked.
No, the show is good. It's just too long. I don't give a fuck about your 900 flashbacks. They just weren't needed. And maybe it would have been fine if they hadn't shot the show's load on episode 7 or 6.
I thought episode 15 was a great episode. I think that was the episode they were fighting in the school. I'm just like, oh fuck yeah.
Also, the deaths in ReZero, which is another
great
one of these.
drop. Oh fuck yeah. That's so good.
ReZero is another one of these like looping shows, you know.
But even with ReZero, I feel like with a lot of parts in it, you got bored with the time frame, the story, like what they had to do in every story beat. That with the longer arcs. With this one, I didn't really get bored with the timeline.
ReZero is a better anime than this anime. I think its execution's better. I think the death scenes are more violent.
Did you give ReZero a 4?
I probably gave it better than that. I had to look it up.
I'll look it up.
You have to
I'll
look it up.
Yeah.
There's no freaking way ReZero got a 3.5 from me. ReZero was too strong in the first 2 cores. It was way strong. But this show's fine. There's nothing about it that's bad. It's definitely, if you like ReZero, you're gonna love this anime. If you like Higurashi, you're all fucking in on Summertime Render. You know, I also think ReZero is better than Higurashi. So,
Mitsuki, because you lied on Discord, I was ready to fight for this show, and you just like dashed my efforts.
Well,
And I'm not sad about it.
That's on brand. So for reference, we mentioned how similar in a lot of ways the show is to ReZero.
Mm-hmm.
The scores that we gave ReZero Season 2 Part 2, reviewed on episode 581, Mitsugi gave it a 4.5, so half a tick higher than this. I gave it a 3, the exact same score as this, and Caroline gave it a 3.5, so a half a tick down.
So the average is
so
exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
That feels about right to me, but I do think ReZero
I'm
was
happy
better
with
at the
that.
start. Yeah.
And your numbers match up.
Did you guys review the original ReZero? Is that on the
a long
So-
time ago.
list?
Many moons ago.
Yep.
But I would also say that, and I know we're running really long, so I'm just gonna say this one thing, and then I'm gonna let you wrap it up, Caroline. This show's great, but in ReZero, I think he put forth more effort trying to figure out what the right moves were. In Summertime Render, I don't feel like there was a lot of discussion about that. I think he just kind of like knew and went and did it. Whereas in ReZero, he's like, well, if I go here, this person's going to kill me. If I go here, this person's going to kill me. So I have to go this way. And then he ends up dying again. Then he comes back and he's like, okay, I got to try this way. There's more like strategy as he tries to navigate through.
But there's a difference, because with Shinpei's situation, the villains are looping with him. So at a certain point, he couldn't rely on his future knowledge. You just more relying on the information he gained from the future.
I understand, but that made it an action show and not a mystery unraveling the perfect path show, which is totally different.
I thought it was a mixture of both. I appreciate it.
It's fine. It's a 4 out of 5. Wrap us up.
I hope people will end up watching it though, because as we discussed, it's been in jail for a long time, and hardly anyone decided to watch it because of that.
And that's a big problem too, by the way.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. So hopefully this got people interested, and if we spoiled it for them, they didn't feel uncompelled to watch.
Get better
Honestly,
at pirating.
we threw so much spoilers at them that they don't even know what was spoiled.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have
you're probably
even realized.
fine. You
what
can
we're
still enjoy
talking
the
about.
show no matter what.
Yes. Okay, so with that, let's give a shout out to our social media. You can follow us on Twitter at AAA Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook. You can join the Discord very easily with the button on the top bar of our website, AAApodcast.com. And you can join us for watch parties, anime club. We got trivia nights. I went to one last night and it was very fun. Thank you to Raggedy Doctor. And lots of other discussions, as well as our secret Santa. Make sure you enter by December 11th. And of course, you can also find us on TikTok as well at the _anime_addicts. And next week we will be discussing Birdie Wing.
Woo!
Yeah.
A much easier show to watch.
Golf, baby.
Let's get our
we in
sports
this.
on.
Mindless and short. Oh, yeah.
Please
Drives
join
in the
us for
future.
that 5 p.m. EST on Twitch. And we'll see you later, guys.
Bye, guys. Take care.
See ya.